Hello everyone, welcome to today's class, Taiji Qigong Shibashi Set 3. Let me just put this on so I can see you on YouTube at the same time, making sure everything works. Good. Hello everyone, welcome. Thanks for joining. Hi Bet. Today's class we're reaching into movement number 5, looking at the setting sun, which is a movement that will work the lumbar area, the kidney, the leg, the whole kidney system from a Chinese medicine perspective. So because of this movement has some more intense leg bending, some more intense twisting of the lumbar area, be mindful if you have any injuries in those areas. Make sure that you're not overdoing it, that you're being mindful, and if you have any counterindication to any of those movements, don't do them. I'm not with you in your living room to tell you what to do or what not to do. More specifically, I can guide you as best as I can through the video, but you are ultimately responsible of your own health and your own movement. Never force anything, never put any pressure. Always allow your body to be supple, relax, and stay within a comfortable range. We're not here to injure ourselves. We're here to make our body moves in a soft and more efficient way. Hi, Jane. Hi, Deirdre. Thanks for joining. So, let's get going. Let's play with number 5. We'll jump right into it today and we'll do the other movement after. So we change a little bit the formula. For those of you who followed the course for set 2, you'll notice that the movement is fairly similar to the immortal pointing the way, in the sense that we have the same kind of crossing and pointing, but there's a few differences. So for today's movement, looking at the setting sun, we have the same beginning where our arms are reaching up, connecting to the sky, keeping the shoulder low and relaxed, coming back down, but in this case, we'll be shifting the weight to our left leg, crossing behind, and allowing the arms to rotate and actually come up to the shoulders. And I'm stopping here for now. We'll go a little further in just a minute, but I want you to understand the movement of the arms. So as I'm coming back, my arms are circulating, making a big circle all around. And if I'm not moving my legs, they'll end up pointing straight out of my shoulder. My other arm is bent with the elbow in front of the shoulder. I don't want to overstretch my arm to pinch the shoulder here, so I keep this opening through as I'm pointing to the side. So this one, the arms come down. We go back up, down again, and back up the other way. Once more. Don't worry about breathing for now. We're just kind of going through the motion to understand how this is going to affect our overall movement. Up. And so this is the arm movement. So starting again to go towards the left, we'll add the crossing of the leg, and with the crossing of the leg will come a rotation from the waist. So as usual, we want our hips to remain, in this case they won't be quite forward because our legs come behind, so my hips are over here, and because of this tight position they're going to be solid and won't be able to turn much, so it emphasizes even more that rotation through the waist, through the lumbar area to get a bit more of a squeeze towards one kidney and then a bit more of an opening towards the other side. So I have this side that kind of squeeze my left kidney and then the other side opening up so that my hands can go this way. And as we're going to go on to the other side, my left leg will come behind. I want my knee to come just behind, my left knee behind my right knee. If my knees stay side by side, then the leg feels very flimsy. We don't have as much connection, and I don't want to bring my foot super far behind because then it creates too much stretch and elongation and it becomes a lot more difficult and force us to go lower. So we don't need to have this much of a low position. What we want is simply to bring the knee behind the other one. They don't need to touch, but they need the inner side of the thighs will gently touch each other. The knee don't have to be touching, but they'll be close, which allow us to have this strength within the posture through the feet, and then we'll add this rotation through the waist. Coming back, stepping behind, and then we'll add the rotation through the waist to look more or less 45 up behind us. Coming back to the center, stepping and turning the waist to look in that general direction. So again, up, coming down and looking, squeezing a little bit my left side, opening the right, coming back through the center, stepping, turning, squeezing a little bit my right side and opening the left. Now, if we add our arms movement, which are just a full circle, actually a little more than a full circle. If I'm starting down, my arms will go up and down, making a full circle, and then continuing up to shoulder height, where I'll be doing the sword finger, thumb open, index and middle finger pointing straight, and the last two fingers gently rounding, almost like if I'm holding a ball in between my thumb and my small finger. Do I have a ball here or something that would be round enough here? It's almost like if I'm holding something in between my thumb and my small fingers, and then my sword finger pointing out. My thumb is a little more open, so it would be like if I'm holding this way actually. It would make a little more sense for the position. And so you feel this ball of energy between the thumb and the last two fingers that you're gently squeezing to feel the projection of the chi towards the index and middle finger. So, starting again, circling the arms up, palm facing forward as we do the circle, coming down, up, and pointing out. Here my palms are facing down. As I go to the other side, making circle and a half, up, sword finger here. Coming down, palm facing forward, up, down again, and pointing. So, adding the stepping now, starting from the central position. Inhale, well, we'll do the breathing after, we'll do just the movement first. Circling all around. As my hand reach the lower position, my leg and weight transfer are moving, and my arm continue following the position of the shoulder, but because I'm turning my waist, rather than being forward, I'm bending and turning the waist, so I'm pointing up in that direction. When I come back down, bring the leg parallel, rising through the body, sinking the chi down. As I get down, shift the weight, bring the leg, sit down, turn the waist, slightly squeeze it to look at the moon. Come back, inhale, step, exhale. Come back, inhale, step, exhale. Inhale, crossing the leg, bending, exhale. Coming back, up, exhale. Coming down, inhale, feeling the connection towards heaven. bringing the qi from the sky through the body, touching the toes, exhaling as we sit down on the legs, finish the rotation, pointing up, looking at the setting sun behind us. Coming back. As soon as my foot touched the ground, begin the inhale, the rising of the qi through the body, up, then sinking it back, touching the back toe like a grounding connection, exhaling, allowing the qi to come down and point towards the back. Coming back, inhaling, down, exhale. Parallel, inhale, across, touching, exhale. Coming back, inhale. Crossing, exhale. Inhale. Exhale. In. Out. In. And out. So one more, each side, inhale. Crossing over, exhale. One more again, inhale. Coming through, exhale. And back to the center. Taking a moment to observe the effect through the body. Connection through the spine, the stretch upwards towards Bai Hui, connecting towards heaven. And the natural sinking through the body, down towards the feet, kidney 1 into the ground. Good. Gently rubbing the palm together. Take a quick break. You can move your legs around if you need to. I don't know if it's hot where you are, but it feels hot here today. Still a nice warm day. Oh, nice. We have a day of rain, which we get, once every 6 months or something in Cabo. So enjoying it. It's very nice. Good. So let's revise a little bit all the different details involved in this movement. And also I'll explain a little bit why it's a movement that affects the kidney. So in Chinese medicine, the kidney is responsible or in charge of the whole lumbar area, the whole lower back in general. And this rotation through the lumbar will have a strong effect on massaging the kidney organ itself from the back of the ribs that kind of press the kidney a little bit on one side. When we have a little bit of that sideways rotation as well, and that slight compression, in this case, we're squeezing it with that rotation of the waist, whereas the other side gets a little bit more open as we turn around. So we have this massage, one side being squeezed, the other side opening up, and then back and forth. And this openness comes also from bringing the leg behind, so we're lengthening the side from the leg that's going behind us while we're kind of compressing slightly the side towards which we are turning. So I have this compressing here, this lengthening here that happens, and that affects the kidney themselves and the whole area of the spine. Looking towards the back, looking towards the sun, When there's sun, if there's sun where you're at, setting sun is less intense for the eyes, but the idea is to look towards the sun, to take in the last bit of light at the end of the day, to take in that warmer yang energy from the sun and fill ourselves, particularly up to the kidneys. So strengthening the kidney and their yang aspect based on Chinese medicine. So any kind of weakness of the lumbar where there's not enough energy to support us, just by moving around and getting this rotation also through the spine and then connecting with the energy of the sky, bringing it in, will bring a warm sensation towards the kidney as well, which will give us the effect that we're looking for. So in order to do the movements, we start with our hands on both sides, palm turning forward, allowing the rising. And for those of you who have been practicing Qigong for a while, rather than just moving your arm, try to see if you can connect through the lower abdomen, through the expansion with the breath inside the abdomen, feeling almost like there's a ball that's rotating that gives us this swaying motion, which our arms simply have to follow afterwards to rise and come down. So we'll play a little bit with that aspect because it's at the core of this particular movement. Taking a few breaths, taking the time to feel abdominal breathing, filling up the lower abdomen, feeling the pressure filling up the front, the perineum, the back, the opening of the sacroiliac and the sinking of the sacrum so that migmen can be stretched and open naturally. Never use force. Don't tighten up and try to push your back out. One of you that I've spoken to this week mentioned that they actually overdid it and injured themselves. Not a good idea. Don't put pressure. I don't know if she's listening, but you know who you are. So for all of you also who might be tempted to use too much force, don't. Just gently breathe. Fill the lower abdomen with the normal pressure of the diaphragm pushing down. Feel the gentle strength filling up the space and allow the lumbar to naturally stretch. And we'll do this for a few more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And from this gentle ball sensation inside the lower abdomen, as we're inhaling, we'll start to allow our arms to rise gently to the side, up till about diaphragm height, so the height of the ribs. And then on the exhale, we'll just let the arms gently come back down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And here I'm exaggerating a little bit the rotation. When we do the movement, we don't want to go into a full rotation of the torso. But in order to feel this movement from the lower abdomen, it's good to make it bigger at first so that we can maintain it while having a lighter movement where the shoulder remains forward and not turning the whole torso. So still feeling through the lower abdomen, through the area of the dantian, the filling up, the rising. And it's almost like a Hawaiian dance, this kind of hula, floaty, wavy movement. You want to keep your arm as relaxed as possible, your shoulders as relaxed as possible. You don't want the tension in your shoulder to rise, but on the opposite, use the momentum from the abdomen to allow the arm to rise and gently come back down. And with the breath, it almost feels like we're putting a soft pressure from the inside that come and inflate the arm, allowing it to rise and allowing it to sink gently. Inhaling up. And maybe let it rise all the way up to the shoulder this time. And exhaling, coming back down. Inhale. Up. Exhale. Allowing the arm to rise all the way above the head. Up. Exhale, coming down the other side. And we'll just switch direction at the bottom. Inhaling. Feeling the filling up of the lower abdomen, feeling the wave expanding to the side of the body, pushing the arms upward as we inhale. Almost like if there's water rising all around us, allowing our hands to float upwards with each breath. Inhale. Up. Exhale. Again, inhale. Gradually feeling the rising without rising the shoulders. Feeling the sinking of the shoulder blade that help the expansion of the ribs. Connecting upwards towards the sky and coming back down the other side. Up. Again, inhale. We'll do just a full circle for now. Inhale. Good. We'll do circle and a half. Rotating a little faster so we can do the inhale all the way. And exhale down. And inhale going up. All the way up to the shoulders, pointing the sword fingers. Exhale down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Now, adding the stepping to the arm movements and adjusting the breathing accordingly. So I'll be inhaling as I do my full circle. And as soon as my toes touch behind me, exhale, pointing towards the sky as I'm sitting down on my leg. Inhale. Exhale. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out. out. Do one more each side. Inhale. Exhale. In. Out. And coming back. Good. How are your arms feeling? Let's see. Could we see a side view? Yes. How far forward? Yes. So, side view. Let's see. So here, rising. As I'm stepping back, I'm keeping my knees, let's see, yeah, you can see this. Keeping my knees relatively close to each other. They don't have to touch, but the thighs are touching. And my foot is just a little bit more than 1 foot away diagonally to find this. As I'm coming here, I'll be sitting on my front leg. My back leg is a little bit like the kickstand of a motorbike. It's simply there to kind of help the balance. And as I'm coming here, the rotation from the waist align me up here. So I don't want to be too forward. I want to maintain the feeling that my weight is at the center of my front foot. The back foot being there for support, but I could just lift it up as well without too much effort. If you don't have balance, don't try to do that. It's just to give you an example. The back foot actually has a little bit of weight. That's why when I'm trying to lift it, I need to go a little bit more forward to free it completely. So I would say it's about a 75 to 80% of your weight on the front leg, and then just a little bit on the back leg for the balance. Coming back, up, straight towards the sky, down, shifting the weight up, and having just enough support from the back leg. Coming back here, up, and out. Up, and out. And I'll do one more each side. Good. Right. If you've been following me all along for these 25, 30 minutes, take a quick break, relax, walk around, and let me know how you feel. Good point. If you enjoy the class, just click the like button so that Google knows it's worthy of spreading to other people. Super helpful. You're welcome, Beth. Guessing you also keep the connection between Baihui and Kidney 1 when you do that movement. Yes, you maintain it as much as possible. Depending on flexibility, shape of hips, there'll be little difference in the sense that as people go here, yeah, technically in order to keep that the weight at the center of the feet, you want Baihui to be about a line as well, downward. Although with the rotation, it makes it a little bit more difficult to maintain everything. So don't try to be geometrical with everything. Let's see on the camera here. It's not too bad. I'm a little forward, but yeah, it's good enough. So some movement are a little trickier as far as maintaining specific axis, but because of that spreading also of the weight through the body, maintaining the weight at the center of the foot, make it so that the head will be still about above the center, even if it's not quite aligned. So you have a bit more leeway here depending on how much sitting you can get through the hip, through the opening of the leg, finding the stretching also because of that rotation through the hips, the stretching of the hamstring that when we release it, makes us go back up without effort, without having to push with the quads, which would make it very slow and difficult. So as I'm stepping back, there's this stretching happening through as I'm opening and stretching also on the other side. So when I release, it just comes back up naturally. Let me see if okay, good. Any other questions while we're doing this? And if not, we'll go into practicing all 5 movements together. Let's see. Let me turn on my fan. If it starts to make a bit of a wind noise in the microphone, let me know in the chat. I'll turn it back off, but if I can keep it, that'll make my situation easier to go through because it's hot today, very humid, which is not usual for here. Anyway, so no questions? Good. Let's go back into the other movements. Los dedos en qué momento cambian? Sí. So I'll answer in English because you understand English. The hands face forward, hands come down, up. Here, the moment the foot touch is the moment the fingers switch into the sword finger and start to point out. Coming back, the moment my foot touched the ground is the moment my hands open again in order to go around, across. As I'm moving, I'm shifting into the sword finger, up, and then pointing, then coming back, opening, across, step, pointing the sword finger, so I reach towards the sky. So my awareness doesn't stay at the tip of my finger, allow my perception to reach all the way to the sun, which will help the feeling of elongating the body and stretching through. And the same way as we're coming back, our foot here touching the ground, we're not just touching the ground, we get this feeling of connecting and reaching to the center of the earth, going up, reaching again towards the clouds or even towards the stars, coming back down, stepping and reaching all the way to the sun to get this stretchy sensation through the whole body without trying to stretch and creating tension. We're not intentionally stretching. We allow the body to open and get this elongation happening. I hope this makes sense. For those of you who can feel it, probably if you're not there yet to be able to feel this, just remind yourself, don't stretch, and the feeling of stretching will develop on its own. It's a feeling, it's not a movement or a physical intention. De nada. Good. So do you guys, if I'm standing here, do you guys hear a little bit of windy noise, or is the microphone cutting the wind enough that it doesn't make noise? Just to be sure. Good. No noise. Okay, perfect. So let's go and do our set 3. Putting your feet parallel, rocking yourself front and back. Good. Thank you, guys. Rocking yourself front and back. Finding the center of the feet. Connecting the feet, and for those of you who can feel a little bit the roundness of the arch, feeling this pulsation through the feet, stretching, grabbing the ground, pulling it up, having this very gentle sensation, helping the opening of the leg, feeling the opening through the ankle, through the inside yin channel of the leg, up into the thighs, connecting through the hips, and then connecting it through the breath. So as we inhale, feeling how from the feet up, it feeds into the lower dantian. As we exhale, relaxing, feeling how the feet actually open and spread, kind of reaching out deeper into the ground. Inhaling. And this is not yet set 3, it's just a preparation of our body to go into the first movement. Feeling how the lower abdomen starts to fill up, feeling how the roundness through the hip and the pelvic bowl open the sacroiliac, allowing the tailbone and sacrum to move, gently sliding under and reaching up, all the way to Bai Hui, and relaxing, feeling the sinking, the heaviness coming back into the lower abdomen. So inhaling, feeling that gentle ripple through the spine, the opening of the cranial bones, the opening of Bai Hui connecting to heaven, and on the exhale, that sinking sensation coming back through into the lower abdomen. So let's do this in Wuji, in our arms on the side of our body. Taking a few breaths. And down. And crossing the fingers together, palm facing up, inhale. Rotating the palm so that they can reach up to heaven while keeping the shoulder blade down and the shoulder sink or sunk. Sink, sunk, sunk, sink. Coming down, back into the lower abdomen. Inhaling up. Connecting to the sky, turning the palms, exhaling, coming down. Turning the palm up, inhale. Turning the palm down, exhale. Inhale up. Exhale. Rippling through the spine with the inhale. Allowing the chi to rise all the way above. Up, keeping the shoulder blade down. Up, exhale. Opening the shoulder well, letting the chi sink through the shoulders down into the lower abdomen. Again, inhaling up. Turning the palm, exhale down. Let's do one more. Inhale. Exhale. Palm facing down. Inhaling, expanding the chest. Bringing the hands together. Exhale, open, releasing the tension. Coming back. Inhale, filling up the chest. Holding the breath. Exhaling. Holding the empty breath. Inhale. Exhale. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Up. Inhale, taking a step to the left and to the right. Exhale, stepping backward to the left and to the right. Inhale. Up. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. In and out. In, out. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Blooming lotus flower, inhaling up. Grabbing a chunk of heaven, sinking it through the body. As we exhale, bringing the hands above the knee. Step a little forward here. Up. Inhale. Exhale. Feeding our roots deep into the ground, grabbing the energy from the earth, filling us up, blooming the flower above the head. Exhale, sinking, absorbing the rays from the sun, the energy above the head, through the body, deep into our roots. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Looking at the setting, the sunset. Inhale. Crossing. Exhale. Coming back. Inhale. Crossing. Exhale. Coming back. Inhale. Exhale. In. Out. In. out. One more each side. In. Out. In. Out. And just to close off 3 repetition. Inhales, we go up. Exhale, gently pushing the palms down towards the feet, into the ground. Inhale. Exhale. In. Out. And one more. Inhale. Keeping the legs straight. Exhale. Sinking the chi towards the feet. Deeper into the ground. Gently rubbing the palm together. Excellent. How are you guys feeling? Let me know in the chat or in the comment if you're watching this video on replay. If you have any questions, it's time to look at them. Grab my chair. Good. So a bit of a more intricate movement today. A lot of work on the waist, which connects us well through the spine, the kidneys. So far I find set 3 gives me a real peaceful joy. Excellence. Very relaxed. Very hungry and hot. Yeah, it does stimulate, and particularly this movement will have an effect also on metabolism in general because of the work through the waist, the rotation, and the strengthening of the kidney, the yang aspect. So it brings us a little bit more warmth, stimulate the adrenal glands, so it gives a bit more energy moving through as well. This one seems very good for circulation of both qi and blood. Yes, Jane. We're stimulating the yang qi of the kidney, so it's everything linked to that, and yeah, so blood and qi definitely strengthened by it. The mechanical squeeze and open also help with the blood flow through the body. We're squeezing and opening. So every time we have this kind of movement, it creates a vacuum that then gets filled as we reopen. This is part of how it helps the kidney by squeezing them. Kidneys are a little bit like a sponge where blood comes through, gets filtered and come down. Usually it's just a normal gravity and blood flow pushing it through. So when you squeeze it, you kind of empty it, creating a vacuum effect. When the kidney reopens, there's more blood that's being sucked into it. And especially if we have this stretch and opening of the space around the kidneys through the fascia and the tissue that hold the kidney, you get stretch a little bit and then squeeze it more so that it passes better. So we have this movement affecting both kidneys back and forth. Generally speaking, every movement in Taiji Qigong Shibashi that have a rotation through the lumbar area, which is a little smaller, so it's just the waist rotation and not a big rotation through the torso. So the lumbar area will have an effect mostly on the kidney, whereas movement that are a little bit bigger that also implies the ribs will have an effect on the kidney and the spleen, balancing them out. Just to give you a little bit of that information so you guys can start to understand better why the movements are effective and why it's a medical Qigong system. Really enjoying it. Just have to imagine the sunshine, 17 degrees, very wet, and a storm on the way. So we're somewhat in similar weather. Well, for the storm part, the 17-degree, no, here is probably 30, no, not quite 37, 27 today. So we're a little warmer. But yeah, storm. There's actually a hurricane passing nearby. 150 kilometers, more or less, from where I'm at. So it's not going to touch us specifically, unless it decides to turn around and come and visit. But that's better to go its own way. All right, guys, thank you very much for being here. And we'll continue our search for discovery of Taiji Qigong Shibashi Set 3 next week, Monday and Wednesday, same time. So about 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern for North America, 8 p.m. European Standard Time, 7 for those of you who are in the UK. And if you're watching this on replay, hopefully you'll be able to join us. If not, you're welcome to see the video afterwards. Please, if you have questions, feel free to write them down in the comment section, or comments about the video as well if there's elements you would like to get more information of, so I can share it with you guys. And if you like it, just click that like button. YouTube's like to know that people like videos so they can share it. We're only 7 people now. It would be fun to have, 70 instead. That would be better. So we can help more people feel better, like you guys do, hopefully. All right, thank you guys, and I'll see you next week. Bye.